Hello and a warm welcome to this special conversation. It's turned out to be a day when celebrations have been replaced, have been marred by scenes of extreme sadness. Never good to see the loss of human lives, of human beings who had actually gone to a location to celebrate. And what was the occasion? The fact that Royal Challengers Bangalore, an IPL franchisee team, was celebrating the fact that it had won that cup for the first time in 18 years. And what are we left with? 11 human lives lost because there was a stampede-like situation. With me, former top cop of UP, Arvind Jain, who has had many examples and perhaps trysts with looking at situations like these. Will also be joined by Naresh Narasimhan, joining us straight from Karnataka, and someone who's been tracking the story closely, and he has his own thoughts as to what could have gone wrong. Great pleasure to have both of you with us. Arvindji, let me begin with you first. Since you represent the police force, sir, you tell me, sir, when a situation like this happens, when an event like this takes place, what is that first thing that event organizers must be looking out for to ensure that you're not stuck, you're not left with the kind of scene that we're seeing coming out from Bengaluru?
I don't think police of Bengaluru was informed regarding the celebrations. They just saw a social media post of RCB that the team is coming to Bengaluru and they will be given a welcome, and there will be a felicitation ceremony also. This is not done, in my opinion. The RCB has no business to declare such celebrations without taking Bengaluru police into confidence, because when you are going to hold celebrations and where lakhs are expected, then naturally police also has to make a lot of arrangements. In UP, whenever there is a cricket match or function of such kind, police forces from the neighboring districts are summoned. The RAF is called, and paramilitary forces are deployed of the state police force. And massive arrangements are required. Massive crowd control.
Like what? Like what? Can you throw some light? You know, because I've been hearing this statement, Arvindji, a lot, that massive arrangements are required. But let me just draw your attention, sir, and the attention of all the viewers are joining in. Way back in 2013, I have numbers of the last 12 years now. 115 people died in a stampede in Navratri in Madhya Pradesh's Datia district in 2013. In 2014, 32 people died in Gandhi Maidan in Patna. 27 pilgrims died. It seems that year on year, sir, we are only losing human lives because of these mass congregations. Is it the fault of the police? Is it the fault of the political parties involved? Is it just callousness? How do we explain this?
I have read in the newspapers that there were 3 policemen manning gate number 7 of Chinnaswamy Stadium, and a few security guards of the stadium were there. 3 people cannot control the mob. Actually, when this parade was victory parade was cancelled, and they were told that there will be no victory parade. So people who were standing on both sides of the road from Vidhan Sauda to Chinnaswamy Stadium, they rushed towards the stadium to get a glimpse of the team and to enter the stadium. Stadium has a capacity of 35,000. It is at a very congested place in Bengaluru, and it is not possible for it to accommodate 2 lakh or 3 lakh people. People were already there inside. They were sitting. They were waiting for the winning team to appear and for the felicitation ceremony. So 3 people manning the gate, policemen. It is not at all sufficient. At least a ACP rank or SHO rank officer should have been there with at least 20-25 people to control the mob. And people were trampled there. There was stampede at gate number 7. There was stampede at gate number 3. And people inside the inside the stadium were not even aware of this stampede. Function was going on inside the stadium because they thought that everything is fine. But outside, there was this stampede, and people were trampled. And as you know, 11 people died, and at least 75 people, they sustained injuries. So you have to give them time to collect forces. You have to give them time for making arrangements for crowd control, for making charts as to who will be deployed at which place. Now, Vidhan Sauda, in my opinion, should not have been added as a venue, because police force was divided at different places. on en route also at Chinnaswamy Stadium also, and because CM himself was there at Vidhan Sauda along with the families of the senior politicians for photo opportunities and other things, lot of force was deployed there. So once you make arrangements at the last moment, and that to 5,000 people, I am told, police force was ready to cater to all these security measures. And if you distribute them on at Vidhan Sauda, at Chinnaswamy Stadium, and the passage, how will you be able to control the crowds which had gathered? If you had seen the enthusiasm of the Bengaluru crowd in the night after the victory, there was a virtual Diwali at Bengaluru, and it was very much expected that if the team will come, massive crowds will turn up. And proper arrangements, in my opinion, were not made. Police had advised against a victory parade. Police had advised against celebrations at Vidhan Sauda. They were not paid any heed. And Deputy CM himself went to airport to receive, to garland the team. They were invited to Vidhan Sauda. You have to have proper arrangements for such a big celebration.
Naresh Narasimhan, you know this theory which has been doing the rounds, and I've been consistently reading these, that the police did not want these celebrations, but the RCB franchisee wanted, they prevailed. Apparently the RCB franchisee along with the political establishment prevailed on the local authorities. Is this true? Do we go by this theory, Nareshji? What is it that you're picking up?
I really think it was a perfect storm kind of situation where, first of all, I don't understand why a private team owned by a private company needs to be honored by the state in Vidhan Sauda. I don't know why they could not have had the function in one place in Chinnaswamy. And as Mr. Jain pointed out just now, the police were completely tired out after the night of the win, because people were celebrating till 4 o'clock in the morning, all over the place, and the police must have gone home fully tired out. And for a private entity to declare a public event without previous permission, I think somewhere things have fallen through the gaps. And maybe along with everybody in India loves cricket, right?
No, I get that. You see, the politicians. There are two sides to this argument, Nareshji. I get your point that why should a private team be felicitated at the end of the day by political functionaries? Well, by that logic, you and I both know that the Board of Cricket Control for India, which is one of the richest sporting bodies in the world now, in fact, the richest political sporting body in the world, still maintains that it's a private body. And we've all seen how BCCI is hosted, toasted, who all does it consist of. I'm on the specific point that do we say that business interests, brand valuations, RCB's brand valuation has gone through the roof post this victory. Do we say that this entire exercise was essentially crafted for the process of brand value enhancement? And that's why we've had the loss of so many lives, sir?
I think the answer is a little simpler than that. Everybody's asking the question in the city saying, what was the hurry to have a celebration in less than 24 hours after the win? It's not that, one can ask the question, how did they plan without knowing who will win, where will the celebration be? There is some askance in that also. How could they have planned it out? And two, I think this is what you saw yesterday was a result of impulsive decision making. And I spoke to a senior cricket journalist in the morning today, and he told me that, half the team wanted to fly out yesterday night itself, back to their homeland. And just because there were some foreigners in the team. This is not the correct way to, I'm sure even if we had waited 1 day or 2 days, or if we had done it tonight or on Saturday night, I think a little bit of planning, all this would have been avoided. But I'm sure that, it's not very easy to learn. Cricket is such, and Bangalore also has been waiting for 18 years for them to win, right? So I think that it's like I said, it's a perfect storm of over enthusiasm, RCB's probably corporate power, and also the significant draw and the photo op draw for all the bureaucrats and politicians involved. I think things have slipped through the gaps, and what has happened has happened. I hope that some lessons are learned in the future that, we cannot have a crowd event more than 50,000 people with at least about 3-4 days of clear advanced planning.
But Neji, let me just take you up on what you were saying in your previous answer, where you know, a private team. Just help me understand this. Why should a victory of a private franchisee, how does it get converted into a Karnataka pride question? I mean, how does that happen?
I don't think it has anything to do with Karnataka pride. It's got to do with Bangalore pride, and that's very different. Okay, the RCB is seen as a Bangalore team, and if you've seen the slogans when the team was playing "Ee Sala Cup Namde," which means that it means this time the cup is ours in Kannada. This has become like a rallying cry across the city, and I think the emotion had reached a fever pitch this time before this happened. And everybody, I mean, I don't think it's fair to blame any one constituent. What is still not clear is who is responsible for giving permission in the city. Is
Who
it
do you think should be that?
Who do you let's look at an apples to apples kind of a comparison. When there is a political rally, whenever there is a political event, and you know it, I've covered politicians for so long across the country. When you have a political rally, there are certain permissions which you require. Permissions from the district magistrate, permission from the police authority, from civic authorities. When you do a massive celebratory exercise like this, surely you require similar permissions. Were these permissions sought for, or is it that everything was suddenly expedited, sir?
I think expedited is more likely, but I noticed that just after the win, in the interview itself, I think the captain in a television interview in Ahmedabad itself, within minutes of winning the tournament, said, "See you tomorrow in Bangalore." So it looks like it was pre-decided that all this was planned out in Bangalore, and I don't know whether it's just impulsive or I really feel 24 hours of 8 hours would have made all the difference. And that area, what Mr. Jain pointed out earlier, is the center of the city, and it's not and with all rumors flying around saying this gate is open, that gate is free, that the procession is on, the procession is cancelled. You know, crowds can be managed in India, mobs cannot. That applies all over the world, but crowd management you saw, you took the example of Kumbh Mela earlier, except for that one small incident which happened. Most of it went off reasonably well because it was effective crowd management. The moment the crowd becomes a mob cannot be controlled because it will fly on rumor, it will fly on, word to mouth kind of messages, and this is what will happen. And we have to learn from this and hope not to repeat it in future.
Okay.
Naresh, great pleasure speaking to you, and thanks to Arvind Jain as well for joining us and sharing your thoughts with us. Where do I stand? I genuinely believe that maybe the time has come for us to have a specific board for management of crowds in our country. We are a country that loves to celebrate. We're a country, even in mourning, there can be a huge outpouring of people. People management is a serious issue. It's a serious question. People management cannot be left to the whims and fancies of a few private individuals or a few private bodies. It's high time that the right minds came together and the right minds thought of a solution. For all of you watching this broadcast, thanks so much. Do subscribe to the squirrels.in for many such similar commentaries.